I want to talk about what I see as really the biggest pitfalls in the whole freedom community, from engaging with people in this field of interest and endeavor, and almost constantly being disappointed. I see that most people in the alleged freedom community, wrap that in a healthy dose of double quotes, both the word freedom and the word community, is their lack of seriousness. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't have a sense of humor. I know you say I always come out with a bright and happy demeanor, but I do have a sense of humor. It may be a slightly dark one, but I still maintain the ability to laugh and poke fun at things. But I feel like most people in the alleged freedom community don't have a true seriousness about what this is really about. And this is about ending slavery. And this is about defending the most innocent and stopping the torture and murder of children that's going on by the highest level controllers that exist in our world. And if people don't take that seriously and they make jokes and fun about everything, then they're not really good people. And I find that most people are in this as a form of infotainment. That's the first drawback that I see. It's the first pitfall, is you encounter people that don't understand the seriousness of this knowledge and don't take it seriously and really see it as infotainment. And they look at things like somebody putting a podcast out with incredibly pertinent knowledge that has been hidden from the population, and they look at it like, this is a new TV show, and what's the new episode going to show me? How's it going to entertain me? And I just find that that's some of the lowest consciousness that really exists. So that's the first pitfall that I encountered, is people who do not take the freedom movement very seriously. They don't even understand how immoral and how completely sick this world is. They don't understand that slavery is incredibly morally wrong, and they're not warriors in that regard. They're willy-nilly fly-by-night type people. They're wishy-washy people. They're not warriors inside. The second biggest pitfall that I've encountered is ignorance. And I mean, that goes hand in hand. They all go hand in hand, really, but they go hand in hand with lack of seriousness. Ignorance does. And a lot of people just have a tiny bit of knowledge. They're not deep in their knowledge. They have no depth or breadth of knowledge. So this is the adage, a little learning is a dangerous thing. And that's the second biggest pitfall in this community. When you're dealing with people, when you're trying to partner up, get things done with others, you realize how little other people actually know. And you realize how much they don't take knowledge seriously either. They have learned a little bit, and they've learned sound bites, and they know things in a very cursory way, in a scratch the surface way. But when you try to go a little bit deeper with them, you realize how much ignorance still exists in their entire persona and mindset. And that's the problem, is that people don't understand how deep knowledge has to be to truly, really have an impact on what's really going on in our world for the better. And most people don't take that seriously either. I mean, I talk with people about certain people about things in this community, and they're still approaching it from the most ridiculous, childish, nonsensical religious perspectives that you can possibly imagine. They're still basically not thinking for themselves, not thinking critically, not engaging with the trivia methodology, and thinking that they know something when in fact they're actually detrimental to the cause. That's the second one. I call that, in my work, negative knowledge. It means you think you know something and it's incorrect, and you don't actually know what the truth is. So you're starting from a pit. You're not even starting from ground level. You've dug yourself into a pit, and you got to climb out of the pit to even get back to the 0 point. I call that negative knowledge. It's people who are clinging to illusion and clinging to their ignorance and don't want to lay down the illusion that they've bought into and stop identifying with it. So again, you're 100% spot on with that analysis.